Well, hello, this is Bev, fabulously functional, doing some fabulous cooking today. I have created and going to make what I call the impossible gumbo. The impossible gumbo. It's going to taste and be as wonderful as my gumbo the one I used to make with the shrimp and the chicken and the smoked sausage. This one's going to be plant-based, but it's still going to be delicious. Still going to have wonderful flavor. And I'm excited about it. So, we're going to start off by just showing you a few things I'm going to put into it. I have right here, and there are some extra vegetables on here because I'm also getting ready to make my rainbow sage dressing for tomorrow's Christmas brunch. But I have here the tricolor peppers and some onions chopped up. I've got some celery that I've chopped up over there. And I have here some leek chopped up. So that's going to be going in this impossible gumbo. I also have over here some stewed tomatoes. That's going to be going in there. I have shiitake and portobello caps that are going to be going in there. I have, of course, fresh garlic. You can't have impossible gumbo without fresh garlic. I also have some young jackfruit from the can. This is the brand that I use. Young jackfruit from the can. I have drained it and squeezed all of the oil out of the juice out of it. I also have, and the young jackfruit is going to be kind of the texture of your chicken. The mushrooms will be the texture of your beef. But this right here, this is going to be the texture of any seafood that I might put in my previous gumbo. And these are banana blossoms. That's what these are, banana blossoms. So it kind of looks like fish. And kind of has the texture and the flavor of fish, but these are banana blossoms. That's going to go in there as well. And I have other seasonings that I'm going to use to make this gumbo. So I'm going to turn on my pan back here so I can sweat some of my vegetables. And then I'm going to turn on my crock pot. Actually, not my crock pot, my stock pot up front here, where I'm going to be putting some chicken, and not chicken stock, some vegetable stock. I'm going to be putting that in there. So I've got 232 ounces of organic vegetable stock. I'm going to go ahead and pour in there. Going to begin pouring that in there. And that one. And I may have to add some more spring water. But right now I'm just going to do the 32 ounces of organic vegetable stock. Put that over here. Alright, and to that, I'm going to go ahead and add these wonderful stewed tomatoes. And this is the big can. I don't remember how many ounces, but not the small can. This is the big can of stewed tomatoes. And I kind of went through and chopped them up just a little bit more. But that's what I just dumped in there. And so right now what I'm going to do is I have this cooking oil called Carotino. So it is cholesterol free. And it's a cooking oil with natural carotenes and vitamin E. So I'm going to saute my vegetables in this carotene oil. I'm going to go ahead and put some over here in this pan. It's a beautiful orange color. I'm going to put that over there and let that warm up. And to that, I'm going to add my tricolor peppers and my onion. I have this green onion over here, but that's going to be for my dressing, and the rest of this celery is going to be for my dressing. And this bok choy over here, I may put it in there, but I'm not sure. But I am going to put this leek and these tricolor peppers and these onion. I'm going to sweat them over here in this pot. So I'm just going to grab them up with my hand here. And put them in there. So I'm just adding the onions, the tricolor peppers, and then I'm going to add also the leek. It's already smelling good. It hasn't really totally warmed up yet. But it smells wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to move this over here. I've got my fresh garlic right here. And then this is the celery that I chopped up. That's going to go in there as well. So I'm going to turn that on. Let that begin to simmer. I'm going to do the garlic later, not right now. But I am going to go ahead and begin chopping up these beautiful mushrooms that are going to be a part of this wonderful and meaty dish. So I'm going to slice them vertically and then do them horizontally, like so, like that. And it's a coarse chop because I want them to look, because once they cook they're going to turn a dark brown. I want them to look like pieces of meat, so it's going to be a coarse chop. So I slice them vertically and then horizontally. Let me find a bowl. Put them in. These look yummy. Okay. There's two. Let's go ahead and try some of these shiitake mushrooms. That look wonderful too. Have a different texture. They're going to be a little more meatier. Have a meatier flavor. So what I'm going to do with my mushrooms as well is I'm going to saute them in the I'm going to saute them in the mixture there on the stove before I add them to the pot. And this is looking good. Okay, so there are my shiitakes. There's my shiitakes and my portobellos. They're there. I'm just wondering if I need to do another mushroom cap. I think I may. Hold on. Oh wow, this is smelling wonderful. And the color is just absolutely beautiful. With the carotene cooking oil. Okay, so I'm going to continue to let that cook. I got to show you something here. This is roasted butternut squash that I just took from the oven. Absolutely delicious. But this is what I'm going to puree in the blender in the food processor to make my butternut macaroni and cheese. I also want to show you something else. So I've got other pieces of roasted butternut squash whole that I'm going to scrape and, you know, take off the caramelized part and eat it because it's delicious. Because I want the color to be the color of your traditional macaroni and cheese, even though I'm not using actual dairy cheese. Then I have these roasted peppers that I have to peel and seed to prepare my sweet potato hummus that is to die for. And speaking of that, I need to take the sweet potatoes out of the oven. That's sauteing. And there they are. You can tell they're ready. See how they're oozing? Yeah, those sweet potatoes are ready. I'm going to set them over here so they can cool. And that smells wonderful. Okay, so they're sauteing, they're becoming translucent. And once they become a little translucent, then I will go ahead and add them to the pot with everything else. And when I say everything else, I mean our vegetable stock and our tomatoes. Turn this fire up just a little bit. So I've got our mushrooms. I'm going to go ahead and smash my garlic. When I say smash, I just basically do that. Like that. Love garlic. So I lay the knife flat on the flat side on it, and then I just smash it. Break it open, and I'm going to just throw it. Give it a coarse chop. Now that I've broken them open. And throw them in the pan with the rest of the fresh veggies. Okay. And there we go. Oh wow, it smells so good. Okay, so now I'm just going to throw these mushrooms in there as well. Stir them around in there with the veggies. I think I'm going to need a different kind of spoon. Mmm, yummy. I'll let you see that. And this is what I'm getting ready to put into the pot. Just about a few more minutes. And so while that's ready, I'm going to break up this jackfruit. That looks like, if you will, chicken. The texture is chicken. I'm going to break it up. And we're going to add that to the pot as well. So I kind of just pull it apart. And for anybody out there who is vegan at all, you know what jackfruit looks like. You've even seen it fresh. And maybe one day I'll bring some fresh jackfruit onto my, do a video with the fresh jackfruit. But most times I'm putting it in stew. I've made a jackfruit stew. Or I'll, you know, stir fry it and make tacos or something like that. Because if you fry it long enough and season it just right, it looks like shredded chicken for, you know, tacos. So, okay, there's that. I've shredded up the jackfruit. And now I'm going to shred up the banana blossoms that look a little bit like fish. Okay, so I'm just going to pull them apart like that. In fact, I'm just going to like kind of cut it in half like that. Large pieces. Just going to cut it like that. But yeah, they're called banana blossoms. Alright. Toss all that. Alright. Okay, so there you have it. Get ready to add it to the pot. Watch me put it in there. Looks absolutely yummy. Smells amazing. Oh wow. It looks delicious. Smells delicious. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put my banana blossoms and my jackfruit in there. I'm going to get some of this flavor out of the pan with a bottle of spring water. Alright, turn that down. Alright, so I've got some seasonings here. Definitely want to add some parsley. I had some fresh parsley, but I want to make sure I have enough fresh parsley to make my sage dressing, my rainbow sage dressing. So I decided to use some dry parsley in here, and I think I just added maybe 2 to 3 tablespoons of dry parsley to this amazing smelling impossible gumbo. For those of you who are from Louisiana and familiar with gumbo, pure ground filet. You can't have gumbo unless you got some filet. I like to cook it in there, but I also like to sprinkle it on top when you get ready to eat it. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some in there. I'm going to start off with maybe 2 to 3 tablespoons of filet, because I love it and it just gives it a wonderful flavor. Alright, so I've added that. I'm going to add just a little bit of this Greek seasoning that has salt, garlic, oregano, a little bit of cornstarch, cinnamon, black pepper, basil, nutmeg, dill weed, rosemary, thyme, marjoram, and parsley. So I'm gonna add maybe a tablespoon and a half of that, and stir it up. Stir that in there. This looks absolutely delicious. Alright, another season I'm going to add is a little bit of liquid smoke. because it's just going to give it that flavor of smoked sausage. So I'm going to add a little bit of liquid smoke in there. That's about 1 or 2 teaspoons of liquid smoke. And stir that around. Oh wow. Smells absolutely and looks wonderful. Now, this is my roux. And this is whole grain white flour that I have browned to about a peanut butter color. And I'm going to mix maybe 1/4 of a cup in there right now, maybe 1/4 of a cup to 1/2 of a cup in there right now to give it that full body flavor as well as a little bit of texture to the juice. So I'm just going to take my wire whisk. I'll take a ladle. Take a little bit of this juice, put it in this bowl right here. To that, I'm going to add some more water. Add some more water, and this is my spring water. And then I'm going to take about a 1/2 cup of my roux, put it in there and mix it. Like so, like that. So it's well blended, and the powder is not on top, the roux is not on top. There we go. So I have liquefied the roux. Of course, once I add it to this juice in the pot, it's going to thicken it up and give it a wonderful texture and a wonderful flavor. So go ahead and dump that in there. And I'm going to continue to stir. Stir, stir, stir. Now, I've got to taste. I got to see what it's tasting like. See if I need to add a little bit more of something. I don't really have to add too much more of nothing. But I am going to add some black pepper. The flavor is wonderful. I'm going to add some black pepper. And then I'm going to add about 1 or 2 teaspoons of pink Himalayan salt. So there's 1 and 2. This stuff tastes wonderful, y'all. And I'm excited about making this. I make gumbo all the time, but I haven't made it like this before. I'm excited about making it and having you share this first time experience with me making what I'm calling impossible gumbo. Okay, so that's simmering for a while. And while that's simmering, I'm going to take one bag of cut okra and add it to the gumbo. You gotta have okra in your gumbo. So I'm gonna dump that in there. use just one bag. I think I bought 2, and I think I'm going to go ahead and put 2 bags in there. What did the scissors that quick? Oh, here we go. Okay, so here's our second bag of okra. I'm going to let that come back to a boil. This looks amazing. Okay, now there's one seasoning that I need to add. One more seasoning that I need to add. I think I'm going to have to ask my son to come over here and get me the Obey seasoning. Okay. I think it's all the way up there. It's my son Melvin. His reach is a little bit higher than mine. And grab me another one of those fillets too. The gumbo filet. Yep. And then, do you see the Obey? We have to move some stuff around. That's it. Yep. Thank you so much, baby. Okay, and the other season I want to add some Obey. But I also want to add this soy-free soy sauce by Ocean's Halo, and it's organic. So it's a soy-free soy sauce, just to add a little bit more flavor to our gumbo. And I think I did about 2 tablespoons there. 2 tablespoons there. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this Obey to give it a red pepper kick and a Louisiana kick. So, I don't know, that may be about not even a half a teaspoon right there. I'm going to stir it around. I'm going to stir it around. Now, I hate that you can't see into this pot. But, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a bowl. I'm going to grab a white bowl so you can see kind of what it's looking like. It's smelling wonderful, and it's tasting wonderful. Then we're going to let it simmer, and I'm going to come back and eat some of it in your presence. So this is the impossible gumbo thus far. Okay? So I'll be back in a few minutes. I'll be back to show you the finished product and taste it right before your very eyes. Okay, so I'm back. It has simmered for a while, and it looks wonderful, it smells wonderful, and it tastes wonderful. So I'm going to taste it for you. I got me a few whole wheat crackers here to go with it. I'm going to blow on it a little bit. Lord, we thank you. Amen. And so I'm going to taste this. Yeah, a little piece of okra. A little piece of this banana flour that looks like fish. Simply amazing. Amazing. Hopefully you can try this recipe. Maybe one day I'll get it written out. It's so hard to write out recipes, but it's easy to put them together. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for encouraging me with every share and every like and every comment. Have a blessed Christmas.